I went to the store this week. I saw Cindy there, and she looked at me with this glaring, evil eye and said, "This is Comics Covered for the week of January 30, 2019. Episode number 62. Hello, everybody."
That was our most ominous intro. Portents of doom in that one.
Cindy just has a resting bitch face. Here on Comics Covered, though, other than Cindy, we talk about comics, and the world around them. That industry, those movies, that TV, those games, all of them. We'll also talk spoilers about the books, and we'll warn you about them. I'm Jack, and I'm still very new to comics. Some might even say I'm 5 days too young. But I'm here with someone who is not.
That's me, I guess. Your phrasing today is all over the place.
Sorry.
It's very confusing.
I'm trying to do this dramatic
yeah.
talk.
You're doing like an Orson Welles, like,
going for more Will
we need
Shatner.
like a montage.
The Shat.
We need a montage of Muppets committing suicide.
Oh my god.
And falling off of buildings. If anyone has not seen that clip, by the way, it's incredible. I don't know if we brought it up on the show before.
We haven't.
But
it's not on YouTube anymore, I believe.
What?
It was taken
they
off.
got rid of it?
It's because of copyright or something like that. But
I'm sure it is. It was definitely put up there illegally, but also it's the Orson Welles show.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Just so everyone knows, Orson Welles had a talk show, and he's an insane person. So the things he did on this talk show are fucking ridiculous. He had Jim Henson on, the creator of the Muppets, and did this weird interlude during his interview with him where the Muppets just were killing themselves, and he was talking dramatically over it. It was...
Well, yeah, but he was like just having like a sit down like interview with Jim Henson, and they're just talking about like the Muppets, and then Orson Welles, like after Jim Henson gives an answer, just like starts doing this monologue, this weird rehearsed monologue, and they fade to this black and white like montage of all the Muppets dying.
It's just
it's incredible.
It's amazing. It's the Muppets.
I wish that show went on forever.
I know. We'll have to make do with our
we have to find an actual recording of that somewhere and watch a whole episode.
I'm sure they have a a box set or something somewhere.
Really though? Do you think so?
I don't know.
It feels like one of those things that just like has disappeared
on VHS.
Time.
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Who are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Have I not said my name? I'm Doug.
You dug yourself a hole.
Yeah, I'm Doug. I kind of got Jack into comics, and that's who I am.
I mean,
and I do this show with him now.
You did. You got me into comics.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, even if I didn't like, even if I'm not like the sole reason, like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like if I hadn't been reading them, you wouldn't have gotten into them.
I think you're absolutely correct. I think you literally are probably the sole reason I'm in. Like, I like the story.
I guess that is,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, like, I like it. I feel like there's some weird, like, tentative, like, feeling that people that don't read comics have. It's like, I probably would like it. Like, I always thought, like, I probably would like it. I'm just not going to do it. You know, like, I don't know why. But it just feels like it's this weird, like, impenetrable force, which,
oh, yeah.
I don't know.
From the outside looking in, it looks like this hugely impenetrable, kind of intimidating thing. And it's not, I don't even know that it's necessarily a thing that everyone thinks like, oh, I'm afraid of it, or like I wouldn't understand it or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of effort that you would have to put into it to actually enjoy it. And everyone just goes, you know, because they haven't gotten into it. So that, you know, they don't have the motivation to kind of overcome that first kind of hump. But
like on Reddit this week, I saw someone on like, they were saying, I've never read comics before, but I picked up Guardians of the Galaxy this week because I love those movies and I wanted to see what it's like. And I was like, damn, I would have never done that. That's crazy. Like, I'm really glad he felt that confident. I just told him, don't feel overwhelmed or anything like that. And he was like, oh yeah, it's definitely won't do that. Like, and I don't know, it was really, really cool to see that, like, that he just randomly, or she just randomly picked up this one book. I mean, it's cool. I would never do that, apparently. Doug, how was
my week? Was good.
What's up?
I've been getting back into. I started. Well, I've been these last few years. I feel like I've been slowly trying to make myself watch some anime. The anime.
It's so fun.
But I've been trying to make myself watch anime because it was never a thing I watched growing up. Kind of like comics.
Do I get credit for giving you your first foray or no?
What? I guess that was kind of my first extended foray. Jack got me to watch a bunch of Bleach a few years back. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, I've always been meaning to kind of maybe go back and watch more of it. But I also do not remember what was happening at all. And it was in the middle of some giant storyline.
I mean, basically, like, the worst part of that series is the beginning. And basically, it's just about the main dude honing in on his powers while he kills these monster things. And when we stopped watching, it like just starts to get to where like he starts meeting the other like whole society that is devoted to killing these monsters. And there's all this fucking political shit and their whole system is corrupt and they're going into that kind of stuff. And he's fighting other people as opposed to other monsters. And it's much better. So, I mean, it's a pretty clean break. You can probably just start where we stopped, honestly.
Yeah. Anyways, I mean, I got significantly into the like politics and all that stuff, which is why I feel like I'm not gonna know what the hell's happening. Anyways, I do want to get back to it eventually, but I've been watching Cowboy Bebop, which is a classic bit of anime that is always like whenever I ask someone who watches anime, like, what should I watch first? That's one of the answers they always give me. So it's great. I like started a long time ago, like a year or it was less than a year ago, but I only watched like the first few, and so I've been watching a bunch this last week, getting back into it. It's a great show. Have you ever watched any of it?
No, but I've also heard that I should. Like, I don't know. What kind of show is it? I don't even know. Is it like sci-fi western? Sort of.
Yeah, it's like a sci-fi western noir.
It's like East of West?
No, because it's not as heavily western. It's like structurally western in the way that like Firefly is western, but it's not like you're in the desert, doing gunslinging and stuff. It's more like structurally western stuff.
Gotcha.
Like they're outlaws and they're bounty hunters. But it's got a lot of heavy cyberpunk elements. They're in space in the far flung future. It's very kind of episode of the week, like, or standalone stories with occasional. I think I just watched the first episode of the first multi-parter in it, which is exciting. And yeah, the characters are all just really good. The writing in it is fantastic. Like if you're looking for like really cool, imaginative sci-fi stuff that just like has a really, really awesome world and characters, like this is the best I've seen in anime, and maybe some of the best I've seen in TV. I mean, TV doesn't get a lot of kind of, big sci-fi stuff.
Any weird tropes that you've noticed that you're still like? Are you still hung up on like some of the tropes, or are you?
I still have like lots of massive issues with some. I mean, I don't know. That's kind of been my experience broadly with anime. There's some things. Yeah. There's lots of things that you get used to, and you go, oh, well, that's just an anime thing, and eventually some of that stuff you even grow to like about it. But like some of the tropes, like I don't know, every anime has to have the weird, shrieky comic relief character. And they just introduced that one. in
Oh,
a couple episodes ago in where I'm at in Cowboy Bebop. And like, it's not a huge part of the show, but they've all got one. And I don't understand it. And it's the thing I like least about anime.
yeah.
You know, this one's fairly light on the like fan service nudity stuff. It's in there,
good.
but like, it's not forefronted in the way I've seen in a lot of other anime stuff I've watched.
I got you.
But yeah, I like it's as I would say like as someone who like doesn't watch a lot of anime, it's especially approachable. Like it's just like really good sci-fi storytelling.
Very cool. That sounds awesome.
It's great.
Any big reaction, like dramatic reactions to things? I know that was another one you were hung up on.
It's pretty subtle. Like they do a little bit of the weird little reaction noises to everything. Yeah, the like someone says something surprising, I go, oh. But that's usually the most of it. Like it's a pretty like kind of quiet show in a lot of ways when they're not in an action sequence.
That's pretty different actually, because a lot of times it's very bombastic. Some anime,
yeah, like it could have. It's it's pretty subdued for an anime. It's got a mood to it that I really like. Yeah,
very very cool. That's
also
awesome.
has one of the best intro sequences to like a show. It's become one of my favorite things.
Like the song or
the whole thing,
visuals,
the whole intro,
the whole package,
the song, the animation, the whole sequence is.
Now, be wary. A lot of times they'll change that with each season or
it's
arc.
only one season.
Oh, yes. Really? How long ago was Cowboy Bebop on?
I don't know how anime is released, to be honest. But it's like 20 to 30 episodes, something like that.
Interesting.
But it's yeah, I think they made a movie
popular.
after it.
Oh, I do think you're right, yeah.
I think they made a movie.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I had a good week. I had an exciting week, Doug.
Yes.
I got glasses.
I'm still skeptical that's a real thing.
I definitely got glasses. So Samantha and I have noticed that in this world of technology, we're looking at screens all the time. So because I'm at work looking at a screen like for 8 hours, and she's doing homework for grad school on the computer, we decided to get the glasses that filter out the blue light so that it's not as hard on your eyes.
I see.
So now whenever we're looking at a screen, we have the glasses on, and honestly, I've noticed it so much. What is it? Like, it's tough to actually notice because, it looks like just normal, like you're putting on glasses with just glass. But when you look at like reflections of screens, like from the outside onto the glasses, the only thing that you see reflected back at you is the blue part of the light, which is really cool. Crazy. So they've been awesome, and I highly recommend it to anybody, especially people that work at a computer for 8 hours a day.
How is that bad for your eyes? The blue light. I
don't know the specifics, but I've been mulling it over in my head, and I think it probably has something to do with the fact that, okay, so you know that on a computer, the color is made with three colors,
I get,
right?
I get that there's more
red, green, and blue.
I get that there's more blue light in digital light than there is, in like, from the natural light or from like a light bulb. But like, I'm just wondering what specifically about having more blue in the light is like bad for you. I guess because we're not used to it.
See, I don't know if it's about being used to it. I think that, now this could be totally wrong, but I have a feeling that it has something to do with the fact that blue light out of, red, green, and blue is the shortest wavelength. So closest to like the ultraviolet part of the spectrum, which are the short wavelengths, as opposed to the infrared part of the light spectrum, which are like the longer lengths. I feel like it has something to do with that. And like how our eyes sort of take in that color, as opposed to the other ones. That could be totally off base,
Okay.
but that makes sense to me when taking into account physics. So, I don't know.
All right.
But yeah, I got glasses, so I look really, really studious.
Studious. Yeah, that's a good
Yes. My one of my coworkers said I looked majestic.
Okay, that
And one of my
feels
male
like a bit of a
coworkers-
stretch, but
One of my male coworkers said I looked like Clark Kent.
okay, sure. I don't know. You sent me a picture.
I'm basically Superman, Doug. Just
All right.
let me have this
Okay, fair. Sure, I guess.
one.
All right,
Thanks.
Jack, let's move on here.
Okay, going on into news. Okay, what's up, everybody? A lot of things. Captain Marvel's next month. This isn't a news story. I just am really fucking excited for Captain Marvel next fucking month.
Newsflash.
And then-
1 month from now.
Sorry. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like almost exactly, it's like March 8th or 6th, or it's whichever one of those is a Friday. I'm pumped. It's going to be great.
I'll look up when it comes
I'm
out.
really, really also excited because in April then, we have fucking Infinity War at the end. So, Endgame.
I typed into IMDb Captain Bebop. Captain Bebop. Cowboy
Captain
Bebop,
Bebop.
Captain Marvel is what I typed. Captain Marvel comes out on March 8th.
March 8th. Okay. Doug, I didn't watch that featurette thing that you told me to
Okay.
watch too. I feel like at this point I just should.
I mean, if you're going to watch the movie anyways, like, you don't need to.
I'm gonna watch the movie.
Yeah.
I'm just super pumped. I know that I heard that it's getting flack online. People think that it's gonna be like the worst one. I feel like that's from Comicsgate people.
Oh, for sure.
Because I've heard that Captain Marvel is a big no-no for people like that because they think
I mean, pretty much
I guess
any
she represents
pretty much
strong
any
women.
character who is not white or male is a big issue character with them. Fucking Ethan Van Sciver on his channel this week that guy sure buys a whole lot of Rose Tico action figures and dolls for someone who claims to hate her so much. He does a lot of rants about The Last Jedi. Anyways,
Interesting. I don't even know who that person is.
he is one of the figureheads of the Comicsgate movement.
Oh, geez.
Anyways. Yeah, very excited for Captain Marvel. So,
Yeah.
how about this
Awesome.
next thing?
This next thing is interesting. This week, we've had this rumor that James Gunn is going to helm Suicide Squad. A rumor based off of just probably thinking, he was doing Guardians of the Galaxy. Suicide Squad is kind of the DC equivalent. Not really, but kind of, in a way. In tone, maybe.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically. But we got confirmation. James Gunn. How great is that? Suicide Squad, the sequel / reboot, because they're all new cast characters mostly.
Yeah, so it's not like an official release or anything. This is a report from the Hollywood Reporter. And it's basically he's in talks. But this does substantiate the fact that this is something that's in the works, at least. Whereas we weren't sure if that was a real thing or not before. It was just kind of a rumor floating around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, they're claiming it's going to be a mostly all new cast of characters. I'm guessing they'll bring at least Harley Quinn back.
They must.
Maybe Deadshot. But
that's a big deal. If they sign him on for multiple movies, they gotta use him. You know what I mean? I feel like all the
did
rest
they
of the
sign him on
characters-
for multiple movies?
I'm just saying, like, if they had him on for that one in this character role, they definitely probably did.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
The way things work now. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm super excited. I think James Gunn could do a lot of good with that. I don't know who directed or wrote the last one.
David
but
Ayer.
I don't know who that is.
He made like Training Day and like I feel like he made a bunch of
early 2000s thrillers.
It's like 90s like kind of gang / police movies.
Okay.
He made like Harsh Times with Christian Bale and he did Training Day with good God, I'm forgetting his
Denzel.
name. Denzel Washington. He made SWAT. Yeah, lots of, or I guess he didn't direct that. He wrote that. But
so you're saying we're going to have someone who actually understands humor who's going to be directing this, helming this, hopefully now.
He made that Netflix movie Bright.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Great.
Oh, my God. Christ. I watched clips of that movie. It looks pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. An interesting idea, I guess, but...
I don't know.
Not that interesting. Needs a little bit more. But James Gunn, I'm really, really excited for him. Hopefully he comes out of this with his arse clean.
Yeah, I feel like
what?
he is a really good fit for a Suicide Squad thing of some kind, and I really hope they do a kind of, like, even if they want to say it's in the same universe or whatever, yeah. I feel like they could pretty easily, with the premise of Suicide Squad, just kind of reimagine everything from the ground
Definitely.
up. I mean, like, ignore the Joker. I would prefer if they just ignored Harley Quinn, but they probably won't.
I feel like she doesn't have to be ignored. I mean, I feel like it's a fine performance, isn't it? No?
Maybe they just need to retool kind of their approach to her. I don't know. I guess most of my issues with her are just how they visually
sexualized her.
Well, I don't know. I just don't like the modern. I guess it all comes down to the costume design. I just really love that old costume is so classic, and everything since then where they've just thrown that in the trash and it's just like, she's just a lady in a t-shirt with pigtails. It's just like, well, that's not as fun at all. Anyways.
Yeah. I know, I get what you mean. It's going to be interesting also to see what they do with Guardians of the Galaxy now that James Gunn is probably not going to be going back at all. I don't know. It's going to be really weird. Like, some people were saying, like, what if Sean Gunn took over the directing role and used, like, James Gunn's script still? Because I heard they're still using his script, right?
I don't. I would imagine they're going to heavily rewrite it. But I don't know.
That's so weird because
I think it's super up in the air, all that stuff right now.
Yeah.
They're probably still figuring it out. But
that's going to be an interesting situation when that comes to be.
Yeah,
okay.
If ever.
Well, moving on. Speaking of highly anticipated things in the DC extended universe.
Speaking of Suicide Squad related things, more so than highly anticipated, I think. But
I guess so. We got a very brief teaser of the Birds of Prey movie coming out. We don't have a release date, do we?
Do they give a release date? I don't think so, because I think this is a teaser for whatever the actual reveal of the movie is going to be. So I don't think they give a date.
So
no, they just announced the date. I feel like.
Oh, okay.
Dang it.
Here, go ahead and find it. I'm going to tell my feelings. I literally just watched this before recording, so about 20 minutes ago, and I like it. My thoughts are that I think it could. DC could occupy a very interesting space with their movies. They just have to take care with how they execute their tone and everything like that. I think Birds of Prey looks like it could be a really different kind of movie. It looks like this hyper real, almost like, I don't know. It looked like an advertisement a little bit, I guess.
Yeah. For sure.
But it felt like a real world advertisement, like for jeans almost. Not specifically, but for like this clothing line. I don't know. And I thought that if there's like a tone of the movie where it's like this sort of ordinary people, but with women and, you know, powerful women and superheroes, like, that's kind of cool. The other thing, though, is that I feel like they're doing that because it's a movie about women.
I mean, I feel like a variation of this kind of look and feel was what Suicide Squad was going for in general. I think that this is kind of a natural evolution of it. So I don't know that this is like something completely out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
What is different to me, at least in this, I don't know that I necessarily completely connect with it, but I think something that's promising is in the way that Suicide Squad tried to be like, this is this grounded, gritty like edgy, punky kind of thing. That felt like a super dated 90s version of that. While this feels very modern. It feels like what you see in like I don't know, it felt like this very kind of like girl punk kind of modern feel that you see in marketing or music videos or like it felt fresh. And I don't know that that's necessarily my thing, but like it felt like it was tuned in, you know, to more of the modern zeitgeist. And I think that's promising.
Maybe that's what I'm seeing, like that sort of girl punk, like marketing sort of thing. I just hope it's not like we're doing this because they're women and we're making them girl. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want it to be like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't either. I just don't want it to be like we're only doing like, I don't want it to be too obvious that they're making it like a girl movie, you know?
I mean, that's what the movie is, though. Like, it's a team of female characters. Like, I don't know what's wrong with that.
I'm not saying that it's... for me, like, I don't think movies... you know what? I think I'm wrong.
Okay.
I think I'm seeing the fact that it's made specifically... I'm a little... what is it? Jaded from a lot of movies coming out that are like, you know, a big woman cast, and they're very like on the gimmick of they're all women and everything like that.
Sure.
And I think I'm a little jaded from that, from like Ghostbusters and Ocean's 8 and stuff like that. I think it's just for advertising purposes. It's not actually trying to get, you know, give women really great roles. It's just them trying to make money off the fact that which I guess could be considered the same thing. I just feel like there's something disingenuous about it. But when I'm watching this trailer, I didn't like, I got a taste of that. Like, I think that taste in my mind, that feeling is from that sort of jaded mentality. And I think that actually it looks like a really interesting, cool aspect of it. Yeah, so I think that's where it's coming from, probably. But yeah, I'm really excited. It looks cool.
I don't know.
I'm
like,
it's
it's hard to tell. You know, like it's very, very short. It's 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But I mean, more so why I wanted to bring it up, other than the weird tone, is like, just kind of, it's confirming. I think, I don't remember if we got officially like who the characters in this movie were, but, we get shots of the actors confirming. So we've got Harley Quinn. We've got Cassandra Cain. We've got Renee.
That's Batwoman, right?
It's one of the previous Bat girls. She's in the comics currently going by Orphan, but it is a Bat sidekick character in that kind of world. We've got Renee Montoya, who at one point becomes the Question. She's being played by Rosie Perez.
Perez.
I'm trying to think of something recent. This is the most recent reference I can come up with. Pineapple Express, she was the lady cop.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
We have Black Canary. She's got a microphone in this.
What?
She's looking kind of
I hope she doesn't just have a microphone. What if she just yells in a megaphone like the whole movie, and that's how she has her powers?
Oh God, no! She has to have her powers.
Doug, you never know.
If no one in this movie has powers, I'm like, you're already like, this is connected to Superman and shit. Like, fuck off. That would be dumb. Also, I feel like there's another character I'm missing. Oh, Huntress is in this,
and I just saw that it's Mary Elizabeth Winstead playing that.
Yes,
I love her. She's great.
Yeah, she is great. And then Ewan McGregor is playing Black Mask.
Black Mask.
He does not wear the mask in this.
Oh.
He's just in the trailer.
What if, oh my God, Doug, at the end of the movie, he's probably going to paint his face and he's going to become the Joker.
God damn it.
What was that from again?
The fucking one where Black Mask turned out to be Joker?
Yeah.
Spoilers real quick for something. I guess we already said the spoiler, but so I don't know how to warn you about it.
It's been I'm pretty sure that came out.
It's been a while, and also it's not good. Arkham Origins, the prequel spin-off game of the Arkham video game series. The villain the whole time is Black Mask, which is cool because it's a different villain who you don't normally see in the spotlight, and then in the end, big twist. Oh, it's also the Joker. Under the mask, it was the Joker the whole time. Fuck that.
Gosh, how fun!
Fucking stupid. Anyways, yeah. So
okay,
that's kind of all I got.
It's kind of news. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of it's exciting stuff. It is.
It's interesting stuff.
You know what I'm really excited for, Doug?
Yeah,
I'm really excited to talk about these comics.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about the weeklies. Okay, well, we read comics. We read a metric fuck ton of comics. I'm sorry, this week.
One MST.
Huh?
One MST. One metric shit ton. Or you said fuck ton.
Yeah, I don't like
MFT?
MST. I like MFT.
I like MST. Metric shit ton.
I like metric fuck ton. Whatever. It was a fuck ton of comics. Next week I have a small week. I think we both do. I don't know about you, actually. But I have a small week next week. So this week, the universe said, you need Big Black Dildo in your butt. So we both read books. And they are the following. Detective Comics number 997. Heroes in Crisis number 5. Ice Cream Man number 9. Justice League Annual number 1. Which I had to go to 4 stores before I could find one that was actually available. They were all sold out. God damn, it was crazy.
Wait, don't you have Justice League on your poll?
I do, and they didn't give it to me.
They didn't pull the annual for you?
Is that fucked?
That's kind of fucked.
Whatever.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if all stores work the same, but at my store, that annuals are included in your poll for any books that you're reading.
I've always gotten it before.
Yeah, weird.
I feel like they didn't have enough or something like that.
Yeah, that seems odd.
I don't know.
Do they normally do that?
I feel like I got the Terrifics annual when I got that, and I didn't read that one. But we also have Marvel Knights number 6, The End, Action Comics number 1007, Terrifics number 12, The Quantum Age number 6, Weird or Word, WYRD.
It's definitely weird.
Word number 1.
Word to your mother.
Peter Cannon Thunderbolt number 1.
Okay. What did you read?
Oh, I read alone Man-Eaters number 5, Night Moves number 3, and Skyward number 10.
I also picked up Amazing Spider-Man number 14 and Captain America number 7.
Oh, so I had more than you again.
Did you? I guess. So you ended up picking up Peter Cannon?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, well, I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that.
For sure.
Okay. Short little new segment here, new old segment.
New old
sort of. We missed talking about the covers, but we're not going to make picks anymore. So we're just going to kind of, I don't know, this is just a segment where we're going to talk about which covers we like this week. So
covers.
We're going to cover some covers here on Comics Covered.
I like covered covers. They're the covers that are covered.
But they're covers covered.
Yeah. Covers.
Okay.
So no spoilers in this section, so we will not give the spoiler warning yet. But Doug, why don't you talk about what was the one? I guess let's just talk about one of these first. I want to talk about one that you don't have written down yet. Also, first, just a brief thing about Batman Detective Comics. I think it's great, and I feel like it's very I love this book also, but I love the idea on the cover because it's very reminiscent of what Mr. Miracle covers were like. One of them, at least. I know there was one where he had chains all around him. I think was that the beginning.
If you're talking about the Tom King Mr. Miracle,
yes,
he was in a big giant. It's a common trope for Mr. Miracle covers is that he's in some sort of big he's chained up or he's in some big death trap or he's trapped in some cage of some kind.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is very much in that style very purposefully.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, it's a decent cover. But the ones
I also didn't get the Ice Cream Man A cover, which I was kind of sad about. So I'm gonna look it up while you tell me why you like it.
So yeah, my favorite cover this week was definitely Ice Cream Man number 9. And so this cover, it's a giant skull if you're looking for it. Like you were seeing just the eyes and the nose and the teeth of the skull. And then we've got the Ice Cream Man, and I still don't know we learned their like real names or past names or whatever in this book.
Yeah.
This issue, but like I don't know what I'm supposed to, is he the hunter? What do I call this other guy? I feel like he's called him something in the other books.
I know. I don't know. I for some reason I have Jedediah in my head, but I know that's wrong.
What does he call him?
I'm gonna call him Jedediah.
He calls
Jedediah.
Does he?
Okay. No.
You just made that up. Anyways, so this hunter guy and the Ice Cream Man are both hanging from they're both kind of tiny on this giant skull, kind of like hanging out on it. Mm-hmm. They're both kind of placed in like relation to each other. But like it's just like this playing with scale, like them being very tiny on this giant skull. And I think the thing that I really like about this cover is just this really cool gradient on the bone.
Okay.
Like this like ambery yellow to this like minty kind of pistachio-esque green. I guess it's probably supposed to be like a caramel and a pistachio or something. I don't know. But
yeah, because it's Hopscotch Mulane.
Oh, is that a thing?
That's the name of the book.
Yeah, but I didn't know what that meant. Is that butterscotch and something?
Well, I'll look it up right now. But I agree. I think it looks really, really cool. I'm mad that I didn't get that.
It's a really uncommon color combination. Like it's really unique, and I feel like it's rare that you see something like that and you're like, wow, you don't see those colors together. That's a hard thing to do. Just because, I don't know, a million different things with a million different colors on them out in the world, and I just think there's something about the coloring of this cover that really stands out to me. But also, I just really love the playing with scale with the tiny guys on the giant skull.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm mad that I didn't get this one because I mean I like the one that I have, but it's just kind of like the Ice Cream Man giving evil. That's about it. I looked up Hopscotch Mulane and I got this comic. I got the issue, and that's it. So maybe it's not a thing. Yeah. This is the start of Volume 3.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh Jesus. I guess it makes sense based off of how it is structured, but we can talk about that later. Terrifics was my favorite cover.
It's also an excellent cover.
Remember when you said we weren't going to make picks?
I mean, you could say if you've got a favorite one. I just don't want, like, if we have a week where we like can't pick, we don't have to.
Yeah. Okay. No, I feel that. But I loved this cover because it's supposed to be the Beatles, Meet the Beatles on the cover of Revolver.
Is that what it's?
Oh,
I didn't catch that reference.
Are you serious? And Meet the Beatles. That's like
a
thing.
You are like in disbelief every time I don't recognize some minor thing in pop culture.
The Beatles are a huge thing, especially the cover of Revolver. It's absolutely like one of the most famous record covers ever.
It's not a thing that comes up all the time.
Is it Revolver? Maybe it's not Revolver. Okay. It's not Revolver. Never mind.
There's an album called Meet the Beatles here. I'm looking at it, and it does look like
that's it.
I did not catch that.
Beatles. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's it.
Anyways.
Yeah, you didn't know this cover?
No. I mean, I'm sure I've seen it before, but...
Okay, well, it has, it's the Beatles, and it's great. Also, what it reminds me of is, I don't know, did you ever watch the Powder Puff Girls? On,
The Powerpuff Girls.
Is it Power or Powder? I always get mixed up.
Power. It's Power.
I don't know why I thought it was powder. That's the one about them being like viciously addicted to cocaine. No, the Powerpuff Girls, and they had an episode in there where they basically like parodied the whole, like, the Beatles. Like, there was this supervillain group, and it was like, I don't know, it was like 4 of their bad guys, and they figured out that when they team up together that they can actually beat them up and knock out the Powerpuff Girls. So they became the Beat Alls. And they like have all these like little puns about the Beatles, and then at the end the monkey character like gets infatuated with the Chinese or Japanese Asian monkey who's supposed to be Yoko Ono, and she shrieks all the time. It's the funniest thing. So this reminded me of that too. Yeah, that was about it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode?
Yeah, I didn't.
Did you not watch that show?
I vaguely remember that episode.
I loved that episode. And I felt very vindicated because it was an episode my mom watched. And I don't know, when you were a kid, do you ever have those times where your parents watched a show that you were watching and they were like, oh, that's actually really cool?
I'm sure I did. I can't think of a specific moment. But, like, yeah, it is validating when, like, I don't know, your parents watch a thing and like, even though they have a large generational gap, even, like, now, like, if I watch something with my parents now that I like, and they're like, oh, that was good. I'm like, wow, that thing genuinely is just like a really good thing. Like it crosses that generational gap. I guess it's a slightly different thing when you're a little kid, but like similar.
Yeah, no, it's similar. But no, I really liked this cover. I just really like it because it's fun and it's a fun.
Yeah, I missed the reference. But that's cool. Yeah, we got the basically in the place that the Beatles are on that cover are being taken up by these characters, the Dreadfuls, which are the evil versions of the Terrifics, which
by the way, the amount that this book is just Fantastic Four is so funny, down to Dr. Dread instead of Dr. Doom. Like, what?
So also, I mean, just like the giant, like, the fucking Metamorpho is depowered. Yeah. And has to make the decision whether or not he needs to become Metamorpho again is the most fucking the thing, like, plot line in the world. That's like that is the Thing's thing, is he always wants to stop being the thing, but then, he can't because he needs to help the Fantastic Four, you know,
can we get Jeff Lemire to write plot. Fantastic Four? Is that such a crime?
I'm sure this book happened because he wanted to do it at some point and they wouldn't let him. Especially considering the long gap between Fantastic Four books before this new Dan Slott one came out.
Definitely. I heard people are actually liking Fantastic Four now. I read that Dan Slott actually does the Marvel style when he writes.
Interesting.
Did not know that. But nonetheless, Doug, do you want to talk about some specifics of these books?
Yeah, let's talk about specifics in these books.
Okay, should I give the sound?
Yeah, do the sound.
Okay, so Heroes in Crisis, starting out strong.
That was the spoiler warning sound, by the way. Anything past here will have spoilers. I guess that was the spoiler warning sound. It's hard to, like, warn people when the sound is unpredictable.
Well, we set up the sound. We said we were giving the sound, and I gave a sound, did I not?
I'm like, yes. But we did not set up what the sound was or what it meant.
Well, they can figure that out, you know?
Okay.
So, Heroes in Crisis. Doug, this is a very divisive book. And even we had problems with kind of it moving along after the last issue. It's not that it's bad. It's just, I don't know.
It started feeling like it was kind of meandering.
Exactly.
Like which was especially frustrating because it got expanded from 6 to 9 issues.
Yes.
I think it's 9 now. But it was less before. Like, this would have been the penultimate issue, I think. So
damn. But I am thinking about this series in a different way now.
Oh, for sure. This issue specifically, like, really clarified, like, what we're fucking doing here.
Yeah, you know. But honestly, like, I'm not even thinking of it as like a story anymore. I'm just because the story is an important part of it, an aspect of it. I just feel like it's kind of a backseat to the study of what these characters' experiences mean to them. And I guess I should have known that, but I thought that that study into like what it mean, like what these traumatic events mean to them, I thought that was going to tie into the story, but I don't think it really does. I think just the general idea. So I'm thinking of this more as a study with a little story on the side.
Yeah, like it's a meditation on kind of the nature of heroism and mental health and like being a public servant and how that intermingles with like your mental health. It specifically started to feel like there were some semi-autobiographical elements to kind of the themes of this book in this issue.
Yeah.
Specifically in Superman gives a very long speech, which is the absolute highlight of this series so far. But basically kind of talking about like, what does sanctuary mean now that people know it exists, and like how should people look at it, knowing that like these heroes are having like need mental help. I don't know, that sentence got away from me, but like Tom King has said in interviews that basically like, so he used to work in the CIA. He is legally not allowed to divulge what happened while he worked for the CIA.
Yeah.
But he has talked about like, on various books, like basically, I can't talk about what happened, but I can talk about how it felt.
Yeah.
And this issue felt like it was really getting at that. Specifically, there was a line in Superman's speech. I'm trying to find the specific one.
It's a long ass speech.
It's a very long speech, but there's a particular kind of passage here. So Superman's talking to like a press conference. He says, the question then arises naturally, if we need peace, if we need to heal, if we need anything, does that then mean that we are broken? Are we somehow polluted? Are we somehow, because of what we have done, are we somehow now forever unworthy of your trust? If we acknowledge that those who fight are also vulnerable, are sometimes afraid, does that then mean that you, who may not have fought, are now vulnerable? Does that mean you, all of you, should always be afraid? And then, I don't know, Superman goes on to explain why, like, that's actually, like, a good thing that, like, you can see these people are affected by the things they've done in your service.
Yeah.
And how Superman himself, he implies, has been kind of affected by this stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a really poignant speech that really kind of drives home kind of what the ideas and themes that we're dealing with in this series are. And I totally agree with you. This series exists to be kind of a meditation on those things.
Yeah. I'm also interested because, you know, a lot of people don't like this series. And
I want to argue that I think that concept that social media gives you is a little bit overblown. I don't want to downplay the fact that there are definitely people who don't like this series, but I think in general, negative reactions to big things like this get a little blown out of proportion because it gives such a big mouthpiece to, like, a big kind of outlet for people to express their hatred. Like,
understandably so. I just want to...
I think it's a very vocal minority.
I understand that for sure. I think it's interesting because I think a lot of times, you know, the people that genuinely don't like this, that don't have reasons like, I just don't like it because they killed off Wally West, or I don't like it. I think a lot of the reason why people don't like it is because they feel like the characters aren't themselves. They feel like the characters are not who they usually are in other comics, and they're talking about different things, and that somehow them talking about their feelings like makes them not that character anymore. The way I think that's interesting is because a lot of times we don't talk about mental health ever, because it's it makes us feel icky sometimes. We don't want to admit that our brain, while it helps us do so many awesome things, can be severely traumatized by even like small things that only one person would make the connection to. And like there's a culture in the United States where we don't talk about mental health, how it's this taboo subject that, you know, oh, she's going to therapy. Oh, she's on medication. Like I used to have a roommate who thought that you got high off of Prozac, and that when one of their friends was taking Prozac that they got dumb. Like, it's so fucking weird. And there's not a lot of like general education behind it also, which is another big problem with it. But I think the idea that we don't talk about mental health and that this book is fucking talking about it is a lot of the reason why it's really divisive. Maybe not consciously, but I think that's a lot of the reason why, because people aren't used to it. But what I think is really, really cool is how that aspect of not talking about mental health relates to the idea of people in the DC universe not talking about the history of the DC universe.
Interesting.
So all these crisis events have happened that change continuities, that retcon shit. And this book, as you've mentioned to me, has kind of toyed with the idea that people kind of remember the things, but no one really talks about it, and no one really like puts a spotlight on it, because why would they? The writers don't want to show like, oh, this doesn't make sense. But Tom King here is, I think, relating the sort of concept of people not talking about mental health to people not talking about the fact that Wally West exists now, that he's not retconned, or the fact that
kind of like those big kind of crazy, potentially traumatic events that happen in the DC universe.
Exactly.
Like, of course they wouldn't talk about those regularly.
And especially now that this issue introduced a little bit of intrigue into Wally West not being in the right place, I feel like that shit is going to take a front seat.
Potentially.
I don't know. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think there is definitely something to the idea that this series is purposefully, like, what part of the reason that it feels to some people like it's out of character is that it kind of purposefully is for a lot of these characters. It's this idea that these are the like secret kind of issues that these characters have been dealing with this whole time, and that they couldn't talk about them because they didn't have an outlet like this, and that this place gives them that place where they can kind of let that stuff out. And I think that's super kind of an important idea. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that, like, like just to talk, broader societal sense, like, like the normalization of like getting help for mental health, if your mental health is a really important thing. Mm-hmm. And like the idea that the part of the idea that this series is getting at, that like everyone kind of needs help. Like everyone, even Superman, like no matter how big or small the issues, like everyone is dealing with something. Mm-hmm. And it's all just on this kind of scale. And like I think there's definitely that's part of why it's maybe putting some people off, because like it is dealing with the bits of these characters that these characters don't normally deal with. And so that could feel, because it's atypical for them, it could feel out of character, but that's kind of the point. And
in that sense, I feel like Superman is even talking to people who are not really enjoying seeing the superheroes in a new light, because that's what the people in the universe are too, now that the things are getting leaked. So it's really cool. Like, I feel Superman speaking directly to me, honestly. Like, if I like to say like why this means something, why we're doing this whole story, basically. It's that fucking speech and some of the shit in here is just, I don't know. I think I'm gonna like this even better going into the back half. First of all, because I know they're gonna do more of the story stuff. Second of all, because I think I have a better idea of what he's trying to do.
I'm a little worried about the wrap up of the murder mystery stuff, because that's been the one part of this book that I've always has kind of felt a little ill-fitting.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm super down for all this, like, kind of delving into mental health and delving into, like, all that stuff. the idea of being a hero and a public servant and having issues. But like, maybe it'll, hopefully, the connection will kind of reveal itself over time, but I'm not really sure why the murder mystery is also a part of this. And I'm really hoping that they wrap that up in a satisfying way that connects it kind of philosophically to those ideas. Because otherwise it just kind of is just kind of thrown in there and feels a little...
It feels like it's just
shock jockey-esque.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. It feels like it's just there to have a story along with this study. You know, like...
But there's something about the fact that it killed so many characters that, like, if it doesn't relate to the, like, mental health angle in a satisfying way, it feels a little, I don't know, manipulative. And
I can understand that.
I don't know. We don't know yet. That it has not been resolved, so I don't want to say it is. But I'm just hoping that comes full circle. Yeah. You know? That there is that connection.
Yeah. I have two major thoughts about this story that I still have to share. One major thought is, can you go to the page where it's near the end, like 3 pages from the end, not the last page, not the second to last page, but the next face. And it's a body we're looking at, like Gotham Harbor or something like that, and a rose comes into shore and there's a shadow picking it up. Do you have any idea who that is?
I think it's Wally West.
Oh, because he has the red gloves.
He has red gloves, and it's like they implied earlier that, like, yeah, he's somehow, I don't know, he's been fucking with time somehow. So he's he's maybe survived this, or that isn't the normal him, or something. I don't know.
Some people think that. Well, okay. First of all, some people are really mad because apparently Flashes can't time travel anymore after Flash War. Apparently that's a thing. But also, you know, Booster Gold is here. I feel like Booster Gold did something with time travel and now can't remember it for some reason.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyways,
but
I don't care. Characters should still be able to time travel.
On this page, though, at the bottom, I was really surprised that they said, "and their fight for the American way," which didn't feel hokey, and I really liked that it didn't feel hokey to me. I don't know. It felt like how it should feel, like how it was made to feel in the day, you know?
Yeah. Like it, yeah. I totally get what you're saying. In this context, it worked. A lot of comics have because that used to be part of the Superman kind of motto, is truth, justice, and the American way, and they've got, in a lot of ways, kind of gotten away from that kind of phrasing because they don't want Superman to seem like a government puppet or whatever. But this seems divorced from that kind of idea. It's just kind of a philosophical, this is what we stand for kind of thing. What's right, you know? I like that.
Yeah, no, definitely. My other thought was, apparently people really didn't like Harley Quinn's confessional on the back page, which, I mean...
I had mixed feelings.
Okay, what's up?
I get that... I get that, it's been long implied that Joker and Harley have an abusive relationship. It's something about the way, and I know this is kind of the point, but the juxtaposition of the Joker telling ridiculous nonsense jokes and then the idea that he beat her, and of course, if the Joker was real, yeah, that's how he would work, but there's I don't know. I can't quite, it's hard. I don't think they shouldn't have done it. There's something uncomfortable about it, and maybe that's the point.
I didn't get that. I thought it was perfect, honestly. I don't know. I thought it was a little weird to have at the end because it doesn't feel like an end sort of thing. It doesn't feel like a last page, but...
that's kind of been... I think they've been ending all of these with a confessional like this, but...
Yeah.
It was an odd note to end on.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that. But whatever. I liked it. But I love this issue. I love this double page splash also. The Heroes in Crisis, the title page.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's so...
Where is the inn? Someone drew where all the letters were at some point, and I can't find
the inn. Is Booster and Ted.
What?
It's like
Where?
It's like kind of Booster and Ted, isn't it?
I don't see the in anywhere. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Is it Booster's arm and bottle and then his leg?
Ooh. That could be it.
I don't know. Anyway, they spelled out here the title page in this is a double page splash where Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are sitting on a couch watching TV, and Heroes in Crisis, the title of the book, is spelled out in objects in the scene.
By the way, I think it's really cool that Booster and Ted are just like kind of dumb.
Oh, that's kind of always been
that's so funny to me.
Like, they're just fucking like bros. They're great. Because they're both just like fucking weird D-list characters, and they're friends, but they're kind of goofballs and losers. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really like this. I really like this story, and it's great. And it's like, I don't know. I'm really excited to see where it goes. Like, and Wally West might not be dead.
Yeah, I think Wally West is definitely not dead.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
What else we got?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry. Let's talk about Ice Cream Man. Because that was a little weird.
Yeah.
Very different from what we got usually.
Yeah, this is normally an kind of semi-horror-esque anthology series.
Yeah.
And this issue, was a very different kind of change of pace.
Yeah.
We're getting so we've had these recurring kind of characters who've come back up. There's the Ice Cream Man, and then as of late, we've gotten more and more of this other character, this like hunter in black, who's like
a cowboy.
His opposite. Kind of a cowboy. And so we got a sort of kind of backstory for them in this. And it's weird. It's like they're in this weird fantasy desert, and they're like weird gods or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like, the Ice Cream Man,
Caleb.
They gave him
Sorry.
What now?
Caleb is the cowboy. I just found it.
Okay. Caleb and
Ricardus, yeah. Ricky Ricardo.
Caleb and Rick are the names of them. Rick being the Ice Cream Man. Rick is like using his god powers to like create disgusting abominations, giant spiders, while they're and like Caleb and Caleb's dad, I think.
Right? I think he's both their uncles. I don't think.
Oh, are they both his nephews?
They're both his nephews.
Okay, I'm not sure. Anyways,
at least.
Oh yeah, he does call him uncle. He's both their uncles. He is their uncle. Anyway, their uncle is there with them, and he's kind of their guide, and they can all kind of do weird creation stuff. Although I don't know that we see Caleb do any of that.
What? The weird, like, I don't know, god stuff?
So, like, creating god stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks, he looks more like he's just really good at archery.
Like, the uncle makes, like, a plant at some point. But, and then, Rick turns it into a weird bug thing. Yeah. Maybe he made his wolf? I don't know.
Maybe, but I was so sad about the wolf. Like, god damn it.
Oh,
fuck you.
God. So, yeah. Fucking Ice Cream Man turned it into a weird pelt cape.
But with the blood on it still.
Fucked up.
Ew.
Yeah. He fucking ripped it apart with his hands or something. Anyways, yeah, so basically we just kind of got the idea that these are these weird, like, I don't know, immortal, interdimensional god people, and they came from this other fantasy world. That world ended, and now they're in this world, kind of hiding out. Which I think that's all the backstory we need. I hope we don't dig super more into
I feel like we won't. I feel like we just kind of know who these characters are and their relation to each other, and I feel like that's kind of where I don't know. I feel like it's still anthology. This is just a nice one, another one shot that's fucking much different.
It happens to like relate directly to like pre-existing characters, but like I think it is, in the way that this series is an anthology, another one-shot little story, which is cool.
Oh, totally. Totally.
I think this adds a lot of really cool context to the series, and I am always really excited for more of the Ice Cream Man, Caleb, I guess we can call him now, Hunter, cowboy stuff.
Definitely.
I think that stuff's very cool.
For sure. Doug, let's talk about the Marvel Knights End.
So we have Marvel Knights 20th, number 6.
Number 6.
Here.
Can I first start out? How much I love Kim Jacinto's art.
Oh, it's so good.
Fucking amazing. Like, I don't know. First of all, mainly, I love how fucking Kingpin is drawn.
Oh, Kingpin looks great. Fucking Daredevil looks excellent in this. Like, everybody looks great in Kim Jacinto's art.
It's just, I remember the Sentry. I wonder if that's partially why they thought of her, because he was going to be in this. I don't know, but those parts aren't drawn by her, is it?
No, those are Travel Foreman, which is odd.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm looking at there's a panel here that's just like a one-off panel that has Bullseye in it, and it's so good.
Where is that?
It's the page where Kingpin's walking down in front of a bunch of fire.
Oh. That's near the end.
No, it's towards the beginning.
Towards the beginning.
First half.
He's walking down with a bunch of fire. There's Bullseye? I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways. We got back to this issue was fully scripted by Donny Cates. He did the first one and then co-wrote all the in-between ones, and then he's writing this finale. Art by Kim Jacinto on the first half, Travel Foreman on the latter half. I was kind of disappointed by Travel Foreman's half, but hard to follow Kim Jacinto though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent work. We were familiarized with her from the Sentry. I fucking forgot about Kim Jacinto. I wonder if she should have been on our best stuff.
Oh yeah, you're right.
List. God damn,
that was pretty great.
Fucking good. It's really good. Anyways, if this issue had come out and we had seen more than one book with her, maybe that would have been a different story.
No, definitely. But I'm really glad we got a little more insight into what I don't know. I'm glad T'Challa kind of woke up and realized why he should be, with them, not against them. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason why he's alive and he's here. I just love that realization from him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he realized, just for everybody else, he realizes that they would have had to kill him to get this machine away from him. So, and he deduced that since he's alive, he must be somehow related to them, which is
like he must have allowed it to happen.
Yeah, which is really, really cool to me. I think it's a much better idea than before. And I'm still confused though as to why they would do this.
They did it?
Was it just I don't know.
It's basically they were like, it eliminates both of the heroes and the villains from the equation, and basically they were saying the world is better off without any of them.
I know, but then why did they? What was the realization why they had to change it then?
Because they were it's kind of a weird morally gray thing. They were like, it is maybe better without it, but it's our lives and we've been robbed of it.
Mm-hmm.
That was that's the kind of weird decision that they came to at the end. Whether you think that's right or wrong, that's the decision they came to, and they seem to kind of not be 100% comfortable with it, but it's what they did.
Yeah, I guess so. And I'm also confused as to whether this takes place before or after the Sentry series. Then
I don't know that it. I'm assuming before, because I don't know. Maybe it also reset Bob, but because Bob Reynolds turned into the Dark Sentry.
Yeah.
At the end of
but he went off into space. So honestly, I'm just not going to think about it.
Yeah, this series kind of exists in this weird it's not connected to anything.
Yeah.
And is kind of not affected and doesn't affect anything. It just kind of exists. It could have happened any time. I don't know.
One of my favorite progressions in this book was the Punisher. What is it? He has a gun, and the last thing of the page is him shooting it, and you think, oh shit, what the fuck is he shooting at? And then it gets revealed that he shot Bruce, so he turned into the Hulk. And then, like, I love that page, and then the next page is just him, like, tackling the Sentry through the side of the building and then, like, falling. I fucking loved that.
That's a great sequence.
Oh my god.
I love they go, how did you know you would not kill Dr. Banner? And Punisher's response is, that guy's a doctor?
Oh my god.
Like, he didn't give a shit.
No, it's just, I think this series ended up really, really great. Like, this ending was, I think, the best way they could have gone, you know? Yeah,
this is a great little short run, like, really standalone kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really fun. Like, it had kind of ups and downs a little along the way because it went through various creative teams.
Yeah.
But like, I think overall, like, a really cool idea, a really fun story.
Mm-hmm. Are we thinking that Dr. Doom, like, okay, first of all, he was a Doombot, right? Just a Doombot.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure they showed, like, electricity around him. I think he's just a bot.
I guess, yeah, maybe that's, I guess that's supposed to be the implication.
So I think the other implication is that I think everything got reset and the Doombot wasn't a part of what got reset since it was already programmed. And then since he was still, like, trying to be evil and get all this stuff ready, I think that's how these evil people got here. Does that make sense?
Not sure. I don't know. It's pretty vague.
It is pretty vague. The other thing I'm wondering is Karen Page's whole thing in this. Like, so we don't know. She is dead. She's definitely dead.
She's a hologram created by she is a simulation created by the device.
Why? Oh, because they did it themselves, so they get led back there. I forgot about that. That's right.
It was like a fail-safe, like, to, like, basically remind them of the choice, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, that's really interesting because she's in, like, the first issue, and that's so cool how that came back sort of as that as a sort of thing. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Who was the artist on this last page, by the way?
I'm confused by that. They don't give another art credit, so I feel like it must be Travel Foreman, but it doesn't look like Travel Foreman at all, unless Travel Foreman's just doing a crazy different style. I don't know. Because they just say the pencilers on this are Kim Jacinto and Travel Foreman, and I don't see, like, a art on last page or anything on the credits. Don't know.
I have no idea. I thought it was really strange, but hey, whatever.
Let's see it. I wish there was maybe there's a signature I'm not seeing somewhere, but
yeah.
Interesting.
So did Jeff Shaw do all of these covers?
I think he did.
That's great. I love that man.
Yeah.
This is particularly, like, I know it's just a regular, like, whatever. I just think the characters are all drawn with this, like, Jeff Shaw always draws with this drama and this just, like, like, I just love it. Fucking love it. I think it's so cool.
I think the highlight for covers for this series is still that first issue. It's fucking great.
Remind me, what did it look like?
The crowd. It's the crowd of all the different Marvel characters just in regular street clothes, and then Daredevil in the middle of them, like ripping his clothes off to reveal the Daredevil costume, like crazy. It's really good.
Yeah,
that is like a classic cover, I think. But
yeah, no, agreed completely. Okay, Doug, let's move on. Can I actually give a word before we move on to the one that you have written down here?
Sure.
I want to talk about Terrifics really badly because I think it's so fucking weird that Jeff Lemire writes it. Like, I think it's so fucking weird that the same guy who writes fucking Gideon Falls, fucking Royal City, which I'm almost done with, and fucking Black Hammer, and all that shit writes this random DC team-up book. And also
it feels like you haven't read a lot of his Big Two stuff.
Yeah.
It feels fairly tonally consistent with that. He's very interested in like recreating the feeling of like Silver Age comics. Like,
okay,
that's kind of his vibe when he's working on this kind of stuff.
Maybe
he's done other stuff, but like, yeah,
it's just like I always forget how, like, I've kept reading it, so obviously I've liked it and enjoyed it. But like this issue, for some reason, I had forgotten like how good maybe I thought it was, or maybe this issue was just like a lot better to me. But
there were a lot of the kind of like dramatic kind of setups were really coming to fruition in this issue. Like there's a lot of really interesting kind of scenarios and emotional contexts that kind of really came to bear in this issue. The stuff with Plastic Man's son, the stuff with Metamorpho, like having to decide whether or not he wants to be Metamorpho ever again. The stuff with Phantom Girl on her home planet. Like it's all kind of coming together in this really cool way before they all reunite again. Exactly.
I just feel like, I don't know, sometimes I still have this idea that, you know, at the beginning of the series, I wasn't that into it. I actually dropped it, but you said I should go back on it, which I'm really glad. But I still have that feeling of like, it's not that good. It's like, it just like ends up being good. But this one, I felt like, wow, Jeff Lemire is really, really fucking good. And he's on this series. Like, to me, my experience was that Jeff Lemire is just writing this random issue of this okay team-up series. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's funny. This series is it's just fucking fun. It's just so fun. Like, and it's just solid. Like, it's not reinventing the wheel. And in a lot of ways, it's just kind of a throwback thing, but like, it's just a really fucking good, solid superhero book. I really hope, I know we're on this book because of Jeff Lemire, but I kind of am really hoping that the like continuation of this after he leaves is good, because I just really like this team and this lineup and kind of the vibe of this whole book, and I'm gonna miss it if it sucks and I have to drop it.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you do that. Okay, let's talk about Justice League Annual, Doug. In terms of most confusing covers to me this week, what the fuck is going on in this cover, and how in the hell does it have to do with the story?
Okay, let me explain. Okay, so have you seen images of the source wall that they've shown in this series?
Yes.
So basically, the source wall is covered by all these giant statues.
Yes.
And they've all got their arms out, T-posing, like in a video game.
Yeah.
And they have big glowy eyes, and a lot of versions of when they show that, show them all having lasers coming out of their eyes. So basically, I don't know how it relates to directly to what's happening in this series, but what's happening on this cover is Superman and Batman are, I'm not sure if they're being turned into they're definitely turning into these statue guys. I don't know if everybody else is trying to stop that, I guess.
I don't know. I thought it was really fucking weird. My idea was that like their powers were getting weirdly switched up. Like,
no, they're definitely turning into these statue
you're right.
people.
I didn't know that the laser eyes was a part of it, I guess. So when I saw Batman like that, and I saw that Green Lantern had a lasso, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Part of that was weird to me.
Yeah. I guess that could be confusing, the lasso, but I think that's just he made a lasso. But
also he's an architect. Why would he make a lasso? He should make like an electric wire.
He should make an apartment.
Yeah, you just throw it at Superman and get him out of there. You know,
he should just make you know, like a child's park. Like a swing set.
Put Superman in like this nice open concept kitchen, you know, with a nice backsplash. You ever watch HGTV?
I have in my life.
I wonder if Jon Stewart watches HGTV. He must, right?
I feel like Jon Stewart is more of a TLC guy.
Ooh, do you know what TLC stands for?
Tender Love and Care?
No. the Learning Channel.
Oh, that's right. Fuck, I forgot about that. They used to not be about home improvement stuff.
Are they about home improvement
reality
stuff
TV
now?
I mean, they've been about like home improvement stuff, and like they're a weird mix of like HGTV and like
Bravo,
True TV or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have like Honey Boo Boo on there?
I think so. But they used to be like a Discovery Channel-esque thing, I feel like.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
Like originally.
Nonetheless, let's talk about this annual. We don't have to talk that long about it, because apparently, I really like this issue. I think it's what I've been waiting for. I feel like everything, apparently Scott Snyder said everything makes sense in this issue. And I feel like he delivered. I thought that I feel now so able to understand the rest of like this whole story about the Source Wall and it breaking in Perpetua and Lex Luthor's goals and people's like stance in like the story and their like emotional like place that they're in. I really am enjoying Kendra, Hot Girl's sort of role in this whole thing. I thought that and also apparently James Tynion is writing the kind of more exposition-y parts of this, and I thought that that sort of lent itself, it lent itself very well to the story, because it made me kind of understand what was going on, as opposed to, I think Scott Snyder gets a little confusing when he starts explaining a bunch too many things. And James Tynion's done that really well on Justice League Dark, particularly.
Sure.
So, I don't know. I really, really enjoyed this issue. I had a really good time. I think it has brought me into the fold more so on Justice League than I have in a long time. Mm-hmm. Doug, let's hear it.
I don't see what you're saying.
Really?
I'll be completely honest. I don't understand how... I don't understand what context this gave that the other issues didn't. I
don't know. Remember, I didn't read No Justice.
So I guess.
I think a lot of this explained what happened in No Justice in a really great way, because Samantha didn't either, and she had the same reaction as it to me. So
I read No Justice, and none of the information in this issue was new to me. It felt like all recap, and then a couple things happened that advanced the plot. And it didn't feel like it improved any of the kind of, I don't know, loosey-goosey philosophical kind of like fantasy stuff that was happening in this series. It felt like pretty much the same. Like, we've got these ambiguous forces that I don't really know how they relate to anything.
And guardians of the Source Wall. They go on the Source Wall and they make sure it doesn't fall apart.
But that's not what the forces are. There's the 7 forces of good and the 7 forces of evil, and I don't know how that fucking relates to anything, and those are completely different from these other conceptual forces that these Omega Titans are all about, wonder and mystery and whatever the fuck. And it feels like a big mishmash of stuff, and I get how if you didn't read No Justice, how this kind of caught you up to speed with that stuff. Sure, but as someone who did read that stuff and already knew that information, I don't know. I felt like we're just going in circles here to me, but I guess maybe this issue was not for me, then it was more for you, but big fucking things happen in this issue. So, I don't know. I don't really care about this Perpetua shit.
Huh. Okay.
It feels like another, and then the reveal at the end is like, oh, we broke the Source Wall, more unknown stuff is coming, and it's the people who imprisoned Perpetua could come, so we've got more mysterious giant people who are gonna come to judge us all again. It's just kind of the Omega Titans again. I don't know. I'm tired of it. But
okay, are you off this then?
No, I feel like fucking every goddamn issue, I'm just like, another one. I'm gonna give it another regular issue that is not an annual.
I don't know. The one thing that I do feel like really sad about is that I feel like this issue could have happened before this entire run of Justice League, and it would have been fine.
Yes! We're going in circles.
Mattered.
Like, nothing that fucking happened did anything. They just...
That is the one thing. Like, Drowned Earth. What the fuck was the point of that?
Drowned Earth had nothing to do with anything. Well, there was one of the forces was gotten. I don't know what the fuck it was, but like the bad guys got one of the forces from that. All the storylines have been about the bad guys are getting another one of the 7 evil forces. And
yeah,
fuck if I know what any of that shit is or why they end up with any of it or what it means or why it matters. Anyways,
I do recognize that even though I do really like this issue, that makes the entire series kind of not really important at all. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed even like how it was scripted and the craft behind it. Like, I don't know. There was something about this one that was different than a lot of the heady philosophical stuff in the other ones.
I think if this issue had come much earlier in the series, like you're saying, I would be cool with it. I would think this was cool. There's something about the way that Scott Snyder it just runs this plot in circles, just dwelling on all these hyper specifics of these ideas that don't need to be hyper explained.
Yeah.
Like he's doing whole plot arcs around each of these forces and them getting all of them. And all you need to fucking do is go, oh no, the Legion of Doom has acquired all the 7 forces of... Like, that feels like a fucking very Grant Morrison thing to do, is to go like, we as the villains in the background, while you've been doing other stuff, have acquired all the 7 forces of evil, and now we're going to do this big thing. And all that matters is that they do the big thing now. I don't care about this whole process where they stopped and tried to stop and failed to stop them from getting these ambiguous forces I don't care about. All that matters is the repercussions.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. No, I agree with that, actually.
Sorry, I'm ranting. I'm going to stop ranting. But
I mean, we don't have to talk about it anymore. That's about all I wanted to say anyways. Yeah. What else? What else do we got? Oh, do we want to talk about our new books that we got this week just really quickly?
Yeah, let's check in on those.
Okay, so we got 2 new books, Peter Cannon Thunderbolt and Weird. Mm-hmm. I said that one kind of weird.
You said it weird. With why?
So, Doug, I had specific feelings about both of these books.
But the same feeling?
No, different feelings.
Okay. I hope you had specific feelings. That feels like an odd comment, but okay.
I know. I just... Peter Cannon Thunderbolt, I really, really enjoy. I don't know if it's like anything like monumental.
No, but it was good. I was surprised you picked it up. I like it. I'm going to continue reading it. But
I'm going to continue reading that for sure. Yeah. I really like the idea of like another version of himself going on attack and him like going against him. I feel like it'll be a battle of wits sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely... So basically this book, and very purposefully so, it turns out in the end, is Peter Cannon Thunderbolt is basically a take on Ozymandias.
Yeah.
Like, it's basically like, what if an alternate universe version of Ozymandias was good and didn't do it didn't do the world-ending thing and came into conflict with a version of himself who did.
Yeah.
Like, there's very pointed imagery at the end where, like, I mean, well, it's this idea of, like, yeah, so that he causes an alien invasion, or someone causes an alien invasion. Turns out it's an alternate version of him who's sitting in front of all these TVs watching everything happening, because that's fucking Ozymandias. But he's like, who would have thought of this? I did, but I didn't do it. And so there's an alternate universe version of him that did. And I think that's a really cool idea. And I think there's some interesting conflict that they could explore there.
Definitely. Absolutely. No, I'm really excited. And of course he still has like an Arctic fortress in like Antarctica with snow all around it. And it's pointy. Yeah. And he says the TVs and he's sitting in a throne thing with, even he has like a thing on the center of his head, like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah. Like it's very pointed. Like it is. But yeah. It is. Yeah.
This is written by Kieran Gillen, who we're also reading Die from. And I'm really down for this. Like it was a really good opening, I think. I think it introduced the heroes of the universe really well, too. I really liked them. And how they played off of, and how Peter Cannon Thunderbolt played off of them.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that.
It's fun.
On the other hand...
Weird.
Weird is a little weird. I really enjoy the art in this book. I think the art,
I kind of turned on it a little bit.
I think the art in the beginning, the first 3 pages, is much better than the end of it.
I don't think anything changed in it. I think my opinion of it just kind of really soured on it as I went. Like, it's fine.
I don't like the faces.
It's nothing special. Also, did you realize at any point even, or did it take you a while, or did you not realize at all, that the main character has like a weird nose piercing at the top of his nose? It's very hard to notice.
Oh, I thought he was, I don't know what, but it looks like a tear.
It's on every every image of him. He has these 2 circles on either side of his nose, right up by his eyes. He has a bar or whatever.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Top of his nose. It's just like, it's not clear enough.
It's not.
It doesn't look like anything. And it took me a while being like, is that just like a weird flourish in how they drew his face, or does he have something there? And I couldn't tell for half the issue. And then finally I was like, this is in literally every drawing of him. It has to be a part of his face.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I wasn't like,
tiny note, but
yeah, I wasn't that intrigued, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, the plot did nothing.
It's kind of interesting, but like,
Yeah, I don't know. I think the dialogue wasn't there. It wasn't quite there. The visual storytelling is serviceable, but at times confusing and kind of sparse or lackluster in other instances in ways that didn't feel purposeful. Some of the like kind of quote editing in this, I just mean like in terms of like a pacing standpoint, felt off. I don't know. I'm probably not gonna pick up another one of these.
Yeah, I don't know about picking up another one. Yeah, there's too many things that I don't think it's at the level of other things.
No, I don't think this was up to snuff.
No. One last final thing that's up to snuff. Quantum Age is so fucking cool, I think.
Yeah, Quantum Age is really cool in the way in which it's kind of like tying itself into the core Black Hammer book. Yeah. In some really
absolutely.
Cool ways.
It's I think it's going to directly continue into it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of dovetailing back into the events of it in some cool ways. It's definitely a continuation of like what's his name? Colonel Weird and Madame Dragonfly.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to become like someone's going to turn and make it evil again, obviously. In this reboot thing. I don't know. It's going to be, I'm really interested to see where this goes.
I don't think so. I think they're like, this is the happy ending. Or what issue are we on? 6? Is this the end?
I'm pretty sure this is the end, and then we're going to get the reboot, and then we're going to follow up on all these characters in the reboot.
There's a reboot?
That's what they're calling the next arc of Age of Doom. Or Black Hammer.
Oh. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to eventually kind of relate, if it will. I just got the impression that this was just like the happy ending of the series, is they're going to go off and create this new world that they like, that is free from strife. And that's like this very noble idea. But
I'm pretty sure the new world is what's going to be in the reboot. So something's got to go wrong.
I don't know that it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm pretty positive. I don't know. It sounds like that's what they're doing. They're rebooting the world, basically.
Yeah, but this is a future version of Colonel Weird and Madame Dragonfly. I don't know how this relates to the end relates to the regular series. I don't know. Anyways.
Well, we'll just have to see, Doug.
Not sure.
But
I could be wrong.
I don't know. This is another team group, and it's nothing like fucking the Terrifics. And this is both Jeff Lemire.
No, it's pretty different.
It's just crazy. The man's a treasure. I swear.
Yeah. Also, very quickly, we got the first part of the lead into Brian Michael Bendis' big DC event he's doing, Leviathan.
Yeah.
That he teased a while back.
Is that a whole DC event or just a Superman kind of event?
I'm not sure. I'm unclear, but it is a big event of some kind that he's doing. He said will have major repercussions for the DC universe in an interview. So I don't know if it's a Superman event that's just really big or if it'll be a DC event. Not sure. But,
interesting.
This is the first part of the kind of lead into that, called Leviathan Rising. It has art and a cover by Steve Epting.
Yeah, this fucking shit was awesome. I love that man.
It's so good. I am so down for this. I knew going into this arc that this arc is going to be a like kind of espionage influenced kind of conspiracy story, heavily featuring Jimmy Olsen, and I was very excited for that, and I think it super delivered on that.
Do you think Lois Lane's dad is going to have to be evil in this coming up event, or be an integral part?
He might be.
It looks like
he might be. That's. Have you ever read anything with Sam Lane in it?
No.
He is a Superman villain, basically.
Oh.
Which is why it's kind of a big deal that she just fucking revealed his secret identity to him.
Does Lois Lane know that he's a villain?
Oh yeah, he directly. That's why she's telling him, is because he hates Superman.
Oh my god!
Like he is a military general, and he basically is always going against Superman, trying to take him down.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's a big deal. But the other thing, I fucking love Jimmy Olsen. He's so fucking great, and I love the fact that he's just telling Clark, like, oh yeah, you know, I was with these lizard people, I made out with this lizard woman, this murdering cult, and he's just not listening to him, and it's so
it's totally going back to this idea from the other issue where he was talking about the story about how he slept with
Talia al
Ghul, and he just not paying attention at all. And just this idea that in the background, Jimmy Olsen is just running off and having these crazy adventures and no one like knows or cares. Yeah. And I love it. I absolutely love it. But him just as this like sleuthing reporter who's like off trying to get the scoop and like following that is very fun.
The first scene was great. Yeah, no, I loved that. Yeah, I'm just still such a big fan of this Action Comics. I think this issue actually rose above like a lot of what the past has been. You know what I mean?
I think this is one of the best issues of this run so far. Yeah. This Action Comics run.
Hope Steve Epting does a little bit more art.
Yes, I think he's a perfect fit. He did Ed Brubaker's Captain America stuff, which was very espionage influenced. He does a lot of kind of spy stuff, mystery stuff, Steve Epting.
Very cool.
And so he's a very good fit, and I like this kind of stuff is my favorite kind of stuff in superhero comics. I love a good mystery in my superhero comics, so I'm very excited.
Okay, well, Doug, should we talk about? I mean, the only one we didn't talk about was Detective Comics, and that was good. He was escaping from a trap.
It's fun.
He was escaping.
I think this is the most. I think this is the most fun that a Batman book has been in a while.
Yeah. Well, this specific issue, I think.
Yeah, Batman has often has a very has a tendency to be very grim and dark and dramatic, and like the series is like. It's dramatic, but like it has this kind of, I don't know, very fast, freewheeling kind of sense of bombast to it that I really enjoy. Yeah. And this issue especially, definitely. But
definitely,
it was fun.
Okay, well, are you? Do you have any specific thoughts about your solo books at all?
I have not read them yet.
I haven't read mine either. so
yeah.
Let's talk about what's going on next. We got cool, exciting stuff. We have Daredevil #1 by Chip Zdarsky. Super excited.
Very excited for that. Yeah.
We got Die #3. Again, fucking awesome. The Green Lantern #4.
This is going to be next week's a great
one. Oh, yeah. It's a smaller one for me, but it's a great, like a bunch of...
It's definitely smaller than the last few weeks, but...
Then we have Immortal Hulk #13. Should be great still. Justice League #17. We'll see. And
I feel like I'm a fucking addict with that series. I just like it frustrates me every time, but I keep going one more hit.
I know. One more hit. And then we also have Prodigy #3, which is I didn't realize was only 6 parts.
Most of Mark Millar's modern stuff is specifically 6-part miniseries.
I guess so. I hope we start getting more like. I mean, I'm sure we will. I'm sure this will be the start of like more of like the general like. Who are we against? Who are we? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I feel like we just.
Yeah, I feel like we're at that. This is the end of this issue is going to be the halfway point. So we're definitely going to get some sort of big step forward, at least at the end of this next issue.
Definitely.
But
And then we have this tie-in to Heroes in Crisis starting with Batman next week.
Yep, that is, I think that's true. Is we got Batman number 64, which is the Batman Flash crossover event that is a tie-in to Heroes in Crisis in some form.
Okay. I'm
it's
really
written
interested
by
to see.
Josh Williamson. I'm not saying you should pick it up, but I'm gonna let you know how it is, I guess.
Yeah, I don't want to pick it up. You're gonna let me know how it is.
I was just looking at the solicit for it, and it's like Batman and Flash are coming to blows because Barry's angry about what happened to Wally, and it's just like, ugh, this is the kind of bullshit that made me drop Flash.
Oh yeah,
just like fucking completely fabricated conflict. Like, it's not fucking Batman's fault. Like, that's absolute just you making conflict out of nothing. Ugh. Anyways, I'm gonna read it because I'm already reading Batman, and all I have to do is pick up the other issues of Flash. I'm curious. The ads are teasing a character being in it that if it is who I think it is, that I am actually pretty curious to see.
Okay. Is it really a spoiler for who you think it's going to be?
There is a character from Tom King's Batman run named Gotham Girl, who I think is the Shadow from the ads. I won't say anything more about her, but I think she is in this story, and we have not seen her in a bit, and I'm curious what they're doing with her.
She like at the beginning of Tom King's run?
Yes, she is a major part of the first arc, and there's the first few arcs.
Okay, so that's why you're tentative in telling me about it.
Yeah, I don't want to give you specifics, but I think she's going to be...
Is it a big deal? Like, she's like another character, and she becomes Gotham Girl, and she's like a villain?
I'm not going to say anything. She's a character named Gotham Girl, and she's cool. I like Gotham Girl. Anyways. Cool.
Awesome. Did you want to discuss this? What is this thing you have written down?
So
here?
basically, I'm toying with the idea of basically each week posing a question to us, and then the following week we discuss. So
wow, a little 2-part action going on here.
So we don't have to talk about this week because I think we should make a list and come back. Lists are fun. So I have a question. So if you had to basically create your own Justice League roster, and you couldn't use Superman, Batman, or Wonder Woman, specifically if you couldn't use Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, or Wonder Woman, Diana, who would you put on the team? And it'll be a classic, the number 7, like that roster normally is.
Okay. That sounds like a fun idea. I like that. We should do that. We should tell everybody to do that. Everyone, if you're listening to this, you should also do this. You should tweet us with the hashtag Comics Covered Justice League.
Okay.
And do this.
If you want to do that, feel free.
Yeah, feel free. No, we're making you. Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. I love doing kind of little mental exercises like this. I was going to ask you to prepare something for this week, and I kept forgetting to tell you before the show. But yeah, just if you could make a 7-person team for the Justice League, you can use those 3 characters. Who would you put on it?
You can't use Superman.
I've got some ideas already.
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman cannot be on the team.
You cannot use Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Or Diana.
No, I know. Yeah. What if you couldn't? If you also couldn't use Martian Manhunter? Because I know he's going to be on your team.
I was curious. Should it be none of the classic 7 members?
Oh, that gets tough. Who are the classic 7 members? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, and who else? Who are the other 2? Aquaman.
And
Hawkgirl?
So we got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman,
Martian Manhunter,
Aquaman, Martian Manhunter,
Aquaman, Green Lantern,
Flash.
That's right.
Green Lantern. Yeah. Those are like, they've become kind of solidified as that's the fucking Justice League, and I kind of really buck at that idea because, like, I don't know. I don't like that it's become written in stone that that's kind of the team. Like, in every team that they do now, even if it does have some different members, it's always like just a tiny twist on that. And it didn't used to be the case.
Yeah.
Like, they used to just have entirely different rosters with tons of different.
Kind of like how the Avengers usually are very, like, there's no, like, core group of Avengers, is there?
Yeah. Other than, like, there's usually Iron Man, Cap, and Thor in some form.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's...
But other than that, like, it's pretty open. Yeah, Justice League used to be a little more like that. They've always kind of had a few more of those classic members in it, but...
Okay.
At least the Trinity. The Trinity is usually in it.
Okay.
At least Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are in it.
Okay.
But,
well, I'm
anyway,
excited. I'm excited to.
So we'll come back. We'll come back next week, and we'll have our choices for that.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's about do it for this week. If you made it this far, be excited for the valuable content's about to be had. It's gonna be great. Thank you so much for listening, though. It's fun. You know, we have a fun time, and we have a fun time with you. And we are gonna be watching you sleep tonight. We're a new podcast, so the absolute biggest thing you can do for us, if you like the show, is give us a review or star rating on iTunes. Me tunes. Your tunes. We all tune for iTunes.
Except the actual thing is iTunes.
It's actually iTunes, sorry. It's really easy to do that. Give us a star rating and stuff on there, or review. You know, it's fun. And if you enjoyed what you heard, let someone know about us with your mouth or with your pet mouse. We release episodes on Sundays, weekly, so be sure to check back next week, or you can subscribe and never have to think about it. Valuable content.
Is a mouse because it has a tail? Because it's a little kind of, I think
it kind of just looks
part
like
of the
a
whole
mouse.
thing. The whole thing is just kind of, yeah. Like it's a little mouse-shaped thing.
It slides across the thing, and...
You know how mice slide.
I mean, they move really fast, and their legs move really fast, so it looks like they're smooth.
Well, they hover above the ground.
You know what, Doug?
Like Herb.
Oh, Herb.
Herb is so good.
He's a great character. He's so powerful. That's crazy.
He's a fucking floating red armadillo who refers to himself in the third person as Herb. He's very good. He's in Quantum Age if you aren't reading that book. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Whoa! So many things. Whatever podcast app you prefer, we've got you. Let me just covered.
Wow, you got really close.
I didn't bring the right amount of like baritone to this. Let me just covered.
You're not really good.
Yeah, fuck
covered.
Off. Fuck off. Whatever podcast app you prefer, I already said that. In the meantime, before the next episode, you can find us on social media, Twitter and Facebook, and Reddit.
Oh yeah. Well, Reddit's kind of an anonymous platform. I guess our name is Comics Covered, so you can find us. But it's a little tougher. We don't like make posts all that often. I make comments on.
All right. Well, anyways, Twitter and Facebook. Twitter, it's at Comics Covered. Facebook.com/Comics Covered. If you want to find us on there, we post stuff on there. We post our episodes. We post some other content on there. And if you want to find web archives of our episodes, you can go to comicscovered.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN.com. That is our podcast host, Libsyn. Or our YouTube channel and Facebook. We also post archives of all our episodes on there. Show's always free, you know?
Yeah.
You can, like, binge it all. It's binge culture.
Yeah, and you can hear all our advertising for Harry's Shaving.
Casper Mattresses.
Or ADT Security. That's the one I hear on my murder radio. It's great.
Which show are you hearing iHeartRadio or
ADT.
The security one?
So it's actually really funny. It's a true crime podcast about like real like murders that go on and doing it. So it has ADT on there a lot. That's great.
Hilarious.
It's great.
That's hilarious. Yeah, let's just make everyone.
They also have Blue Apron.
Yep, sure. Nature Box.
Well, no, the weird thing about Blue Apron is because one time there was an episode about a woman who put her baby in the microwave for 30 seconds, and it was really fucking uncomfortable.
Jesus.
They literally. He's like, now to show you how long 30 seconds is, I'm gonna put the sound of a microwave going for 30 seconds.
Jesus.
And you just have 30 seconds of the microwave going, and you're just thinking, God fucking damn it, the baby was in there this whole time. And then I swear, like, immediately afterwards, there's a Blue Apron promo.
Oh my God, that's fucked up.
Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, it was really, like, that show is crafted so well. It's called, Sword and Scale. It's really, really great.
Okay.
Samantha and I listen to it all the time. It's
okay. Cool.
Very nice. There's your plug, Mike. That's his
all
name.
Right. We need to start playing sound effects for 30-second chunks on the show. It'll just eat up a lot of time.
One of these days, I'm thinking about actually making like a music cue for our spoiler warning to freak you out, and then you're gonna like react to it, and it'll be really, really funny.
Anyways, I lost my place, but if you want to get a hold of us with a question or feedback, send us a message on social media, Facebook or Twitter, and we'll get back to you. Thank you again for listening. I am Doug.
And I'm, just kind of a person. I'm Jack. I'm a phone jack. That's what it is. Like a phone jack, you plug it into the wall.
You're a phone jack.
Yeah, and this has been...
fun.
What? This has been Comics Covered.
Covered.
Oh, well, I did the thing. I got close. I did the close thing.
Comics Covered.
Cheerio.
Yay.